Well, Galveston County's newly elected sheriff has gone on the offensive in a fight to keep his job. Sheriff Jimmy Fullen is now suing the state agency that licenses all peace officers in the state of Texas. KPRC2 Investigates Robert Arnold has been on top of this story since June. He's joining us now live to tell us what's at stake in this legal battle. Robert?
So let me back up a little bit here. The Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, known as TCOL, is who licenses peace officers in the state of Texas. And last year, TCOL recommended revoking Jimmy Fullen's license. This is when he was running for sheriff. One of the things that peace officers in Texas are required to do is fill out what's called a personal history statement when applying for a job. This is not a simple document. This is an extensive piece of biographical information that is used as a foundation for background investigation. That's why officers are required to put down everything: past employment problems, past jobs they've worked, past lawsuits they've been involved in, what social media platforms they're involved. So like I said, this is an extensive document. TCOL accused Fullen of omissions on his personal history statements involving past lawsuits, involving past employment problems, things of that nature, which is why TCOL recommended the revocation. Fullen countered, saying these were accidental oversights, this was not intentional, and these deal with some issues in certain instances going back 40 years. He's corrected the record, and he was appealing TCOL's revocation recommendation. Now, during that appeal process, Fullen was elected sheriff of Galveston County. That triggered a different part of state law, which says you can't revoke the license of an elected official. Fullen really thought that that would help speed up the end of this matter. In fact, when I met with him on election night, he won the election with 62% of the vote. I met with him on election night, and he said that he had really hoped to have the matter resolved with TCOL before he took office on January 1st, and said he would then start to meet with critics who raised this issue during his campaign, start to mend fences, and show that he is really ready to work for the citizens of Galveston County. That obviously did not happen. And this year, TCOL came back and is now recommending a 10-year suspension of his peace officer's license. Fullen is now arguing that, well, that basically amounts to a revocation, and I think that's unfair. You cannot do this. So his attorney, noted Houston attorney Tony Busby, filed a lawsuit in Galveston County Court against TCOL, saying that a 10-year suspension of Fullen's license is tantamount to a revocation, and you can't do that. So they are asking a Galveston County judge to essentially assert that Fullen's rights would be violated if TCOL is allowed to do a 10-year suspension of his license. Busby was very clear in stating, we're not trying to prevent TCOL from doing its job, which includes meting out punishment for infractions of the rules. They're simply saying that in this particular instance, a 10-year suspension is no different than a revocation. The state law says you can't revoke the license of an elected official. Therefore, we feel it would be a violation of Sheriff Fullen's rights. So that lawsuit was just filed this week in Galveston County Court, and we're still waiting to see how everything plays out with that.
Robert, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for that update.